Constitution rules and impartiality. Judiciary in India derives its powers and functions from Constitution, which till date remains the fundamental legal text for functioning of Indian democracy. Independence of judiciary as a constitutional safeguard. As has been discussed in Part 1, Article 50 of Indian Constitution lays the rule of independence of judiciary. Obviously, we know judiciary is independent of legislature and executive. It has no, pressure to act by the government or by the legislature or by the executive that what decisions it has to give or what rules it has to frame in case there is a failure on part of legislature to frame such rules. Right, as I told you in earlier lectures also. This is understood as judiciary's autonomous means self-rule status separate from executive or legislative wings. As I told you, independence of judiciary helps in maintenance of rule of law, ensuring good governance and creating a free and fair society. Independent status of judiciary and roles to be performed by it can be understood as two of the same coin. In this context, one must understand the reasons for granting a special status to judiciary. First, judiciary's independence is linked to its role as a watchdog in a democracy. Watchdog means someone who protects or someone who keeps an eye on whatever is going, because if it is independent, then only it will be acting not in a fear of the government, right? And it may frame the rules or it may regard some of the actions of the government as wrong, and then it may take an action against them, or it may frame a rule which was not done by the executive. It monitors and maintains checks and balance over other arms of government. Judiciary emerges as a mediator when any organ of government exercises excess power, which tends to violate the larger societal or individual interest. As I told you, if there is it keeps a check on the actions of the government. If they have done anything wrong, then it will take an action against the government itself. और अगर ये फ्री ना होते, अगर इन पर कोई प्रेशर होता किसी अदर ऑर्गन ऑफ गवर्नमेंट का, तो वो ऐसे एक्ट नहीं कर पाते. ठीक है. It acts as a mediator when any organ of the government has or it uses excess power or it misuses his power to violate the interest of the common people at large. Okay. वन थिंग मोर, मीडिएटर किसके बीच में होता है? मीडिएटर किसी दो लोगों के बीच में होगा. मीडिएटर बिटवीन द कॉमन पब्लिक एंड the other organs of government. Okay, Indian police has extensive powers for crime detection and gathering evidence for prosecution of criminals. It is common for police to interrogate suspect criminals in order to gather best evidence of the crime. However, such powers could not impinge upon rights of accused or suspected criminal. An accused cannot be coerced into giving statement pointing to his or her guilt. This right has been constitutionally guaranteed to the accused under Article 20 subclause 3 of Constitution, which states, no person accused of any offence shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. This means police has the power to investigate into the crime, that what all are the facts, what are all the situations or circumstances in which the crime took place, the place or the region where it has taken place, and it can apply to various ways by which it may gather information and better merits of the crime scene, but it does not have such powers that it could impinge upon or it could violate the राइट्स, इंडिविजुअल राइट्स ऑफ द अक्यूज्ड के भी राइट्स होते हैं अपने जीने के, राइट, उसके भी कुछ अपने सिविल राइट्स होते हैं. सो उसको वायलेट वो नहीं कर सकते इन्वेस्टिगेशन करते समय कोई भी पुलिस. एंड सो इट इज़ गिवन दैट पुलिस इतना कुछ इन्वेस्टिगेट करने के लिए उसको मार कर उसको कबूल नहीं करवा सकती अपना गिल्ट जानबूझ के. तो नो पर्सन कैन बी कंपेल्ड टू बी अ विटनेस अगेंस्ट हिमसेल्फ. वो उसको इतना नहीं पीट सकते कि वो फोर्स हो जाए, चाहे उसने क्राइम किया हो चाहे ना किया, वो मजबूर हो जाए कि वो कबूल कर ले. तो ऐसा आप नहीं कर सकते. ठीक है. जुडिशरी स्टेप्स इन व्हेन सच डेलिकेट इंटरेस्ट आर एट लॉगरहेड्स. लॉगरहेड्स मीन्स जब ऐसा कुछ वायलेट हो रहा हो तब जुडिशरी स्टेप करती है, मतलब तब जुडिशरी इंटरवेन करती है. Similarly, when there is a thin line of difference, as in case of a police exercising their power to gather witness in exercise of legitimate and excess right of a state organ, role of judiciary becomes vital. when there is a thin line of difference as to when a police is exercising their power so that they can get better merits of the crime scene, and in the exercise of excess right. ठीक है, जब वो एक सही पोजीशन पर है इन्वेस्टिगेट करने के और जब वो अपनी पावर को एक्सेस यूज़ करें, जब इसके बीच में बहुत थिन लाइन होती है, बहुत कम डिफरेंस होता है, तो ऐसे में जुडिशरी का रोल और ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. Second, in order to ensure that constitutionally guaranteed freedoms such as freedom to speak in public or peaceful assembly are interpreted as per true constitutional philosophy, judiciary has been kept free from any external pressures. Like it happens to make sure that people have the right to speak freely, to express their expressions freely, and if there is any interference or if there is any rule which is framed by the government which violates such rights in the way as it is interpreted or as it is given in the constitution, then judiciary may step in, it may intervene and declare that rule null and void. So any law or any rule which is framed by the legislature or executive which is in violation with the constitutional rights or with the freedoms or various fundamental rights which are granted by the Indian Constitution to the common people, at that point of time judiciary may step in and it may declare that rule to be null and void. This is useful when judiciary is interpreting a case of conflict between government and certain protesting people of civil society who have peacefully articulated their opinions on social issues, for example crime against women. तो इसका सबसे अच्छा एग्जाम्पल तो अभी CAA और NRC है. CAA और NRC के वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हुआ. पीपल वर प्रोटेस्टिंग ऑन रोड्स, देयर वर स्ट्राइक्स विच वर ऑर्गेनाइज्ड, पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट वर गोइंग ऑन वेरियस रोड्स इन Delhi and all, right, in various parts of the country it was going on, and also in that judiciary stepped in. The cases, the petitions were filed in the Supreme Court against the CAA and NRC, and seeing the condition of strikes in Delhi especially, wherein women, thousands of women, they were sitting on roads organizing strikes and peaceful protest. Since the road area was blocked, there was road blockage and there cannot be infinite strike at any time for anything against. So Supreme Court took a suo moto. I have told you what suo moto is, and they appointed 2 arbitrators. As you may have heard recently, बहुत ही recent case है ये. 2 arbitrators were appointed by the Supreme Court so that they may go to the women and talk to them and ask them that you should stop this strike because nothing is infinite strike and you cannot do the road blockage and give other people the headache, right? Sadhana Ramchandran and Sanjay Hegde were appointed by the Supreme Court. Okay, so judiciary steps in when there is a dispute and the government or the people in power, they have used or misused their powers to frame a law which is in violation of the fundamental right or any right which is provided to the common public of India by the Constitution. Okay. Third, judiciary acts as a guardian of fundamental rights which are constitutionally granted to every citizen. As I told you, independence of judiciary was carved out during the formation of Indian Constitution as India was transitioning from a feudal to a democratic order. It was done to fully translate the well-knit provisions of extensive rights guaranteed under the Constitution into the lives of average citizens. Our Constitution grants us unique rights such as civil and political rights, right to life, freedom of discrimination based on religion, race, caste, sex, place or birth, economic, social and cultural rights, example freedom to practice any religion, protection of interests of minorities. An independent and impartial judiciary has empowered Indian citizens and performed his role. Illustratively, one may look into the role of court in giving an expanded meaning to Article 21 of Indian Constitution, which talks about a general right to life and personal liberty. Within this freedom, Supreme Court has held that a street vendor has a right to operate on streets as selling products on street is linked to his livelihood and daily living, which is protected under Article 21. Right to life and personal liberty is given in Article 21 of Indian Constitution. In this, the Supreme Court has broadened its aspect, its meaning. It has broadened. It has included many things into this Article 21, which says about right to life and personal liberty. A street vendor, even who is selling fruits on roads, he also has a right to life and live with personal liberty. He has a right to do whatever occupation or profession he wants and to earn his daily living in whichever way he wants, right? So he has a right to livelihood and daily living for which he is free to operate on streets. The Supreme Court has also stated that those who are aged, disabled, destitute in India, including men and women, have a right to food, which is most essential for their survival. State has a corresponding duty to provide them with food. This right has been read into the general right under Article 21. Article 21 is a bunch of rights, okay, and within this there are many rights that can be taken into its ambit, okay. It's a broadened concept, it's a bunch of rights, and anything which relates to the right to living peacefully or with personal liberty, all that can come under the ambit of Article 21. If there are some disabled people, and to provide them the right to food with a proper access and enough amount of food that they require for their survival, to provide them with the basic necessity of life, that is food, is the responsibility of the government, of the state government or the central government, whatever the case may be. But to fulfill their needs is the responsibility of government, and so it comes under the ambit of Article 21. The court is performing role which it was granted at the time of drafting of Indian Constitution. Even though drafters did not include specific rights like livelihood and food within the constitutional ambit of enforceable fundamental rights, they are now made available to citizens of India as matters of rights. This has been possible only by interpretation and rule-making function of courts in India. As it was given earlier also, that wherever the legislature or executive faces a failure to adopt a law or a regulation so as to benefit the general people of the country, at that point of time judiciary may step in and make a law so that the people are benefited at large. So same thing is given, that if there is a problem or to grant the specific rights like livelihood and food to the people of India, to make sure that no person sleeps hungry and they get 2 square meals a day, that is the responsibility of the government. If you are ruling the general people and you are voted by that general citizen only to be the ruler of the country, to sit at that seat and to rule a nation, then it is your responsibility that you give him proper amount of food and proper resources so that he can live, right? So right to life, right to food, right to livelihood, all this has been included into the Article 21 by the Supreme Court, by the judiciary. It was not included when the constitution was drafted by the drafting committee. So by time to time, with the change in scenario, with the passage of time, when situations changed, there was unequal distribution of wealth and resources among poor and rich at that point of time when it was necessity, and the judiciary stepped in and framed rules and held government responsible to provide the poor people or to provide the incapable people of the resources and food that they require for proper living of them, okay. And so it is important here, the role of judiciary becomes very important. In the domain of criminal law, independence of judiciary is linked to granting of a fair trial. This becomes extremely important even when accused are foreign nationals or persons who have committed crimes against the state, example, terrorist. Independence of judiciary is vital for respect of due process of law. Due process of law means that state must respect all legal rights that are owed to a person and conform to the norms of fairness, liberty, fundamental rights. Only an independent judiciary can make this concept operational. History has evidenced that whenever independence of judiciary has been disturbed, it has directly impacted upon due process of governance and rights granted to average citizens. Average citizens means the general people of the country. independence of judiciary is very important, so that the due process of law, the legal rights, rules, regulations, all that what is made in a country, they are respected, they are followed, they are obeyed, and the state, that is the government, must respect all the legal rights that are given to a person, and they must work keeping in mind that they don't have to violate such rights. Okay, they have to keep the thing free, fair, liberty, freedom, fundamental rights, all these things must be kept in mind. They must abide by to the rules and regulations by not discriminating against anybody. Everything should be fair, people should be free, and fundamental rights should not be violated at any cost. And if by any rule it happens, then judiciary may declare that rule to be null and void. History has, according to history, if we see, if at any point of time there is a intervention or there is an interference in how judiciary is working, if it is not independent, then there would be a direct impact on the governance, because then people who are in power, they will gain unauthorized power. They will have so much power that they will rule arbitrarily, and they will not care of the needs of the people, and there would be no one who would control them, who would monitor them, and who would check them, because जुडिशरी ही ये काम करती है, जुडिशरी ही गवर्नमेंट पर चेक्स एंड बैलेंसेस करती है. अगर वही इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं होगी तो देयर वुड बी नो चेक्स एंड बैलेंसेस, इट वुड बी इंक्लाइंड टुवर्ड्स द गवर्नमेंट, और ऐसा हुआ तो गवर्नमेंट के गलत चीज़ों को गलत बताने वाला भी कोई नहीं होगा. These lessons teach us that even in grave political circumstances, rights of citizens should not be compromised. Even in grave circumstances, like emergency में भी fundamental rights violate नहीं किए जाते हैं. So and grave political circumstance, emergency से ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं होगा, इसलिए emergency बहुत कम लगती है, और उसमें भी fundamental rights लोगों के maintain रहते हैं. And this could only be possible through an independent and impartial judiciary. Therefore, independence of judiciary remains a vital and core principle in the modern democracy. From role of Indian judiciary, we will be conducting in the next lecture video. So this is all for today. Thank you.